Perhaps we can cross over to Seth Olale in Kibra to tell us. Seth, what is the latest from that end?
Well, good morning, Laura. Here in Kibra constituency, we can now start to see the masses starting to arrive here at the Kibra CDF offices. It is at this particular venue where we will have this particular impeachment public participation exercise kicking off any moment from now. What you're seeing there are some of the organizers of this particular event, led by Mr. Powell Guana, who's going to just tell us into detail what to expect here at the Kibra CDF offices. And Bowen, you've just arrived on time. You were yesterday at the Bomas of Kenya, where this particular county event happened. We're talking about the public participation exercise for the impeachment of the deputy president. Up to now, what do we expect today?
Today we expect people who didn't show up yesterday and on Thursday, because we started this exercise on Thursday. So we expect people who didn't make it to Bomas to arrive today to sign, because I think yesterday they gave the extension. So we expect around 100 to 150 to show up today.
150. Tell us yesterday, because I've seen you with that particular form. This is the form they're filling, and how many filled these forms, or rather, how many forms did you collect yesterday?
Yesterday we had 263. On Thursday we had 311. So if you add 150 of today, we'll have a good number. Yes.
A good, and even as they come, the residents here from Kibra constituency come here. Just tell us about the procedure. Immediately they arrive, who will talk to them? Who will instruct them on what to do? Where will they do them? Where will they do it? And how long will it take?
This is a public office, so we always open any other day that the public demands. So once they come in, the process doesn't take long. It's just to identify that they are residents of Kibra, and then they have their national ID. Because the paper is in English, depending on how they're able to understand. We have people in the office who will take them through what they're meant to understand about the paper. And then the things they agree with, the things they don't agree with, they tick. And then lastly, they sign at the bottom and put today's date.
And tell us about how would you verify? What are you using to ascertain that these are Kibra residents?
We've been engaging with them for a while. So there are people that we know that are actually residents. The ones we are not sure about, we just mentioned to them their polling stations where they vote, and from that and where they stay. From that we're able to tell that they are residents. But there are people that we've been talking to, we know and they know us. Yeah.
Tell us about some of the challenges you experienced yesterday at Bomas. We saw that scuffle involving some of the people who came for this exercise. We're talking about Morara. But tell us about the challenges you experienced yesterday, apart from what was shown on TV. Just tell us about the logistical challenges you've experienced so far.
Okay. Yesterday, people arrived early, courtesy of the Member of Parliament, Malimo Morero. By 7:30, people were seated. Some were denied access because they mentioned the capacity is full. The process was peaceful for a while, and then certain individuals entered, and then there was a bit of chaos. But the challenges was just that moment. But before that, everyone had freedom of speech. If you have clips of the event, people had diverse opinions, and they were all heard. So it was peaceful until that moment that was captured in social media and news outlets. Okay. Yes.
And then when is this particular access expected to be completed today, and what next after today?
After the extension, we want to do this exercise until around 1 p.m. So the more people come, the better. But we have a good number from how we started the exercise on Thursday. So it's just a time thing. The number of people who come by 1 p.m., that's the number we'll share. And then we have to take all the forms back to Bomas by 2 p.m.
By 2 p.m.
Yes.
Tell us about that particular form. Just, summarize. If you can just tell us into detail, what will they fill?
So the first section is the personal information, where you have your name, you have your identification number, which can be an ID or a passport. You have your gender, and then the county, which is Nairobi. And then the next section is, what are the views of the motion? Do you support or do you not support? And then now, if you support, there are other categories of why you feel you strongly support the motion. And I would speak on behalf of Kibra residents. The part that has touched most from Thursday that we have engaged in is the part of national unity. Because if you take Kibra, for example, we are a cosmopolitan. We have people from diverse backgrounds, we have different cultures, we have all tribes this Kenya has, we have Nubians, we have Kikuyus, we have everyone that you can think of in Kibra. We have also people from different economic backgrounds. And then in the fabric of our nation, we have the national anthem that preaches peace and unity. So we can't have national leaders that go against the same fabric that has made us Kenya. So that's the part that we notice that people have a problem with, because you cannot isolate some cultures, you cannot isolate some tribes and say they're better than others. We are all Kenyans, and we all strive to make this Kenya what we think of. Yes.
What are you doing with language barrier? Because the details there are in English. And, you will have some come here and, they can barely speak or understand English. Who translates? How do you handle that?
I don't know if you have time, but if you do, we can enter the office. You'll find the staff that's working in this office come from all those backgrounds that I've mentioned. And also we have people who represent the disability. We also have a disability office that's opened 5 days in a week, that can come in and help translate to those people who will not be able to read and write. Yes.
Okay. Well, so that has been Mr. Powell. Thank you so much. This is the organizer of today's session. We're talking about the public participation exercise here in Kibra constituency. It will kick off in just a matter of minutes from now. You've heard from the organizers. They're expecting residents to turn up in large numbers, and especially those who did not get the opportunity to go all the way at the Bomas of Kenya. So today, following that extension by the courts, it's all systems go here in Kibra constituency, where we expect residents just to come and do their due diligence, after which the forms will now be handed over to the county representatives at the Bomas of Kenya. So we are moving on from here. We'll go to the adjacent constituency, talking about Dagoretti, talking about Langata, until we give you viewers the very latest in as far as the extension exercise of the public participation is concerned. Ayub.
Thank you, Seth, for the assessment from Kibra constituency here in Nairobi County, as well as our man in the constituencies of Langata and